Good day to you all. Today, me and my wonderful friends will be ranking Resident Evil games. Heh heh. This should be jolly old fun.
Do we have to do this?
Yeah, man. Do we really need to rank our traumatic experiences? Raccoon City gives me bad flashbacks.
Of course you do. The only way to beat trauma is to come at it face first. Heh heh.
Can you stop laughing like that? It's making me uncomfortable.
Oh boy, I'm so excited to rank these games. I already can think of my rankings at the top of my head.
Splendid, my boy, splendid. You're a good boy for Spencer, aren't you?
This is just diabolical.
Who is going to be ranking first?
Sure. I guess I'll rank first.
So are we gonna do mainline games, or are we also including spin-offs?
Let's stick to mainline for now. Don't want it to get too confusing. Heh.
Okay, so first we have Resident Evil 0. I will be honest. I don't like this game too much. The story is boring and the gameplay is tedious. The only thing that saves it for me is Dear Rebecca, but that's about it. If I were to give it an honest rating, I'd say it's a C tier. But if I put my special feelings for Rebecca into account, it's an instant S. She's the S rank of my heart.
What awful rating for a perfect game. You should be ashamed of yourself, Wesker. Shame on you. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Dude, I bet you've never played it before.
You're right. I watched some random person on YouTube play it. My poor frail bones can't play video games like I used to. I just get too excited to put my hands all over something, if you get what I'm saying.
Next, we have both Resident Evil Original and the remake, but I'll rank them at the same time. The OG Resident Evil game is obviously the start of the series. We could say it's perfect because of the franchise it spawned, but that would be nostalgia bias. The gameplay is good for what it is, but it may be difficult for newcomers to this type of gameplay. The graphics aren't good either, but for the time it was revolutionary. The only downside I will give it is the voice acting. It's rather corny, but that gives it charm. As for the remake, it fixed a lot of issues with the original by overhauling the graphics and voice acting. I don't have much more to say other than that I think these games are some of the best in the survival horror genre, and I'll give it an A rank.
Wow, Wesker. You must be really passionate about these games. I've never heard you talk so in depth about something before.
It's because none of you actually care to let me ramble without being distracted by some tomfoolery. You all think I'm some joke, but I'm a sophisticated man. You guys just don't take me seriously.
Ha! Look at this loser who thinks we care about what he says about these terrible games. I wish Capcom went through and added that de novo DROM crap to all of the games, so we never have to play them ever again.
Did somebody ask you to speak, you disheveled, unpleasant, big-headed, self-centered, weak-willed buffoon? No? So shut the hell up and wait your turn to rank.
I'm sorry, Daddy. Please continue.
Continue what? The ranking or the insulting?
The insulting.
What?
Come on, let's get this show on the road. Quit your stalling before I get angry.
Okay, fine. Next we have the original Resident Evil 2. I personally think this game is a great way to continue the series and gameplay of the first. It perfectly captures the magic of the first game, while also adding new and interesting ideas and characters.
Oh, Wesker, you think I'm interesting? I didn't know you thought of me that way.
I wish you were interesting in real life. The video game version of you is a lot smarter.
Video game version? Dude, I had to experience all of that in real life. This game is based on the true story of my life. Don't invalidate my experiences.
Okay, dude. Whatever you say. Anyways, I'm gonna rank the original Resident Evil 2 as an S tier. I genuinely think it's that good. Next up, we have the original Resident Evil 3. There's not much new to say about this game that I didn't say for the others, but I think the locations are stunning for the console this was on, and I think the system with Nemesis is really cool and really adds to the tension of the game. Not that I'd ever be scared, though. There is no scaring Albert Wesker. I'd rank the OG Resident Evil 3 an A tier. Next, we have Code Veronica. This one is interesting to me. Obviously, I love the story because I'm in it. But I also hate it because Chris thinks he can take the spotlight. The best scenes are me beating him up and making him whimper like a poor, pathetic little man baby. All I can remember about the gameplay was that it was really difficult, but other than that and the story, there isn't much else I can comment on. I'll put it at the middle of the road, maybe like a C tier.
You're just mad that I have more interesting scenes than you.
Shut it, Chris. You're starting to make me angry.
Oh, is the little baby gonna cry to his mommy? Oh, boo-hoo-hoo, cry more!
Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Remember what your therapist taught you.
Wow. By now, Wesker would have already torn Chris's balls off. Is this the new and improved Wesker?
I can't say I like it. The old Wesker is a huge turn-on for this old man.
Don't say that! You're going to ruin Wesker and Friends Spencer. Do you want to ruin Wesker and Friends?
Not today. Maybe another time.
That's what I thought. Now, where was I? Resident Evil 4. The original version. Too bad I'm not in this one as much as I'd like. Either way, this game was a revolution for its time, and games to this day still follow the format this game laid out. Can't say the gameplay is my cup of tea, but it is for a lot of people. But we all know only my opinion is the one that matters, right? Ha. Ha. Oomph. Yeah. Anyways, OG Resident Evil 4 has a decent story and decent voice acting enough to drag me through it. It's a B tier in my opinion.
Only a B tier? Damn, Wesker. I thought your ranks to this point were pretty solid, but this is too far. You gave my masterpiece only a B? What the hell, man? I thought we were friends.
Us being accomplices won't change my ranking and opinion on this game. Either way, I don't really care. It's not like you matter to me.
Ouch. I'll remember that when I start ranking.
Whatever. Next we got Resident Evil 5. Now this very game, is one of my all-time favorites. Not because of Chris or anything like that. I actually think he's the worst part of it and the sole reason this game isn't perfect. But my performance is the best part of this entire series, period. I'm hot, cold, calculating, sexy. And did I mention my abs? Hot damn. No wonder people simp for me. I'd simp for myself too. But I'm getting too ahead of myself. The gameplay is whatever. You play as Chris Trashcan, so I can't say I'm too particularly fond of playing as him. But still, I'm giving it an S tier. Only because of me, though. Nothing else.
Not even the co-op story multiplayer? It's like the only good Resident Evil game because of that. All the other ones are trash.
This is the only time I'll ever agree with you, Chris. The multiplayer gameplay is actually really amazing, and that is what makes the game more unique.
Ooh, oh, and in this game, I make a sweet little appearance.
Yeah, and I destroy your pathetic ass, right through the heart.
Pfft, I don't know how that would even kill me. I don't even have a heart.
If you don't have a heart, then what do you have?
Eggs. Lots and lots of eggs.
Oh, okay.
I have absolutely no comment on Resident Evil 6.
Why not? Is it because you're pissed that you aren't in it? God, you really are an emotional little child.
It's because I find it boring with a trash story. It's more of an action game rather than a Resident Evil game.
You could also say that about Resident Evil 5, but you rated it an S tier. This dude has a bias towards himself. Resident Evil 6 isn't too bad, bro.
Whatever. Say what you want to say. Your opinion is irrelevant.
I think Resident Evil 6 is pretty good.
God, can you guys just wait your turn? Jesus. Resident Evil 6 is an F tier. Next, Resident Evil Revelations. I think the atmosphere of this game is great. I always loved the idea of a Resident Evil game that takes place on a ship, but that's about the only good thing I have to say about it. The story and the enemy designs are just flat out boring. I feel like you're fighting the same monsters over and over again. The bosses are pretty boring too. Revelations has this separate mode called Raid Mode, and God, it is the most boring and tedious thing I've ever played. It's fun for the first few minutes, but then it just becomes so mentally taxing on your brain cells because it wants you to do the same objective on the same boring maps over and over and over again. It doesn't even have a lot of levels. It just has higher and higher difficulties to torture you with until you just lose your mind. Leveling up is also so boring and slow, thinking about it makes me feel sick. I'd give Resident Evil Revelations a D tier, but what else can you expect from a game that came out on the 3DS originally?
Sounds like the game really hurt this man. This beef with a video game is getting personal. Pack God. Humble him. Humble this man.
Oh, imagine what Jill would have to say if she heard that. She'd be heartbroken.
I honestly don't care about what your little girlfriend has to say. I don't care about what any of you have to say. I thought that was obvious by now.
Hey, Jill isn't my girlfriend. We're just friends. With benefits. Lots and lots of benefits.
I wish me and Mia were like that.
Isn't she literally your wife? You have a kid?
Sometimes.
What the hell do you mean sometimes?
Look, man, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Resident Evil Revelations 2 is next. I've only ever played the raid mode, but not the main story, so can't really comment on it. I don't even remember much of the raid mode, if I'm being honest. Isn't this the game where we're allowed to buy emotes or something to make us dance?
What is there not to like about dancing? As an old, frail man myself, I love buying battle passes and expressing myself in video games.
Spencer has a point. If they ever make a new Resident Evil game with a multiplayer mode, they need to add a battle pass. I love FOMO, and I love paying for virtual cosmetics that have no impact on my real life whatsoever.
I would buy more virtual cosmetics, but Mia is in charge of the credit card and never lets me buy anything with it, but somehow our money always disappears.
I can't rank Resident Evil Revelations honestly because I've never really played it, so I'll just leave it for now. Next up is Resident Evil 7. This game changed the series back to its horror roots, and honestly, it's one top-tier game. Unfortunately, again, Chris Redfield is in it, and he looks like an ugly duckling. Despite this, the graphics, gameplay, and story are phenomenal. It pains me to say this because Ethan is here, and his little ass is gonna get all excited. But I think Resident Evil 7 is an S-tier game, and what all of the other games going forward should strive to be.
The bootlicking goes crazy. Why don't you go and kiss Ethan if you love him so much?
Wesker, why are you trying to glorify my trauma? You think my trauma is S-tier? You sicken me. That's the rudest thing I've ever heard come out of your mouth, and I've heard you say some vile stuff. If I were you, I'd say sorry before I go Nightmare Ethan mode. Don't test me.
It's not that deep. Jack Baker isn't real and he can't hurt you.
Then how can you explain the person who was working at Jack in the Box? Or the person who ate me for Thanksgiving? Jack Baker is real.
Stop complaining, Ethan. We've all gone through terrible stuff and you don't see us complaining. You're just weak-minded.
Okay, we have Resident Evil 2 Remake. This too is also a spectacular game and is again what the other Resident Evil games should be going forward. It's the pinnacle of survival horror and has the perfect blend of scares and puzzles. The voice acting is also great, and the Reese design for Raccoon City is also amazing. Too bad you can't loop Mr. X like Dead by Daylight. That's the game's only flaw. Another thing I'd like to mention about the game is that I like how the game flows, if that makes any sense. Your first playthrough can be upwards of 20 hours of you just exploring, but then your next playthrough can be finished in under 2 hours. It's the perfect balance of not being too short, but also too long.
Bootlicking again, I see? Wow. Geez, at least take Capcom on a date first.
Can you for once not make everything weird? Can I just express about something I like for once?
Absolutely not. When you like something, you have to make the whole world know about how much you like it. But if you don't like something, you make it everybody's problem. The whole world doesn't revolve around you, loser.
Come on, Chris, that's too far. If he likes Resident Evil 2 Remake, just let him like it.
You're only saying that because it's your game. If he trashed on it, you'd be offended as hell right now.
You know that's not true. I'm just a chill guy.
I'm rather disappointed Wesker isn't complaining more. This isn't making good content for the channel, is it? The fans of Wesker and Friends will be angry.
What the hell? You're not recording us, are you?
No, of course not. Grandpa Spencer doesn't break any rules. I obey like a good boy.
My rank for Resident Evil 2 Remake is S-tier. Now Resident Evil 3 Remake. I hate this game. It is an absolute disgrace to the original. The cut locations, cut enemies, and everything just feels so cheap. The puzzles are brainless and easy, and the encounters with Nemesis have just been turned into mostly scripted jokes. He's also too easy to beat, which also makes him a joke. The voice acting and the characters just feel off, like they're not acting like themselves. It's really weird. I think I'm giving this game a straight-up E tier. It's not the worst like Resident Evil 6, but it does come very close. It's not a good remake at all.
Is this a valid crash out chat?
Crash out? What are you like, 5 years old? Seriously, who uses words like that? You all act like little children.
Ooh, bros crashing out. Bros crashing out.
That has to be one of the worst opinions I've ever heard about Resident Evil 3 Remake.
How? Tell me one good thing about it. One. I dare you.
Me.
Carlos, what are you doing here?
That's Daddy Carlos to you. I heard you talking about my game poorly and I was summoned. Why don't you say it to my face?
Jill is really hot.
Of course you'd think your girlfriend is hot. I'm surprised any girl would stand within 10 meters of your smelly ass.
Oh, please. The girls love my smell.
I'm sure the rats and the bugs love your smell too. That's why they hang around you all the time.
Hey, you take that back!
Oh my god, please just let me finish my tier list. I'm almost done.
Keep going for Daddy, Princess. Keep going at that pace.
Ugh, gross. Next is not a remake, but the next and latest entry in the story, Resident Evil 8 Village. This game is also good, but I don't think it's as good as 7 was. It's a little less scary, and you can tell it takes heavy inspiration from Resident Evil 4 clearly. That's not to say it's a bad game, far from it. The environment, story, atmosphere, and the gameplay is one of the best in the series. The new characters it adds are also really awesome. Overall a great game, but I wish it was scarier. There is one section, though, that would have given me nightmares if I were scared of anything, and that is the demonic baby section.
Don't even lie, bro. You're not all that. I bet the game made you poo-poo in your man diaper more than 40 times.
Poo-poo? Seriously? You keep talking like a stupid little child. You need to grow up if you want to keep hanging out with us, you insufferable freak.
Now, Wesker, calm yourself. It's going to be okay. Remember what your therapist, Daddy Spencer, taught you. Breathe.
It may be a basic opinion, but I think Resident Evil Village deserves an S tier, 100%. It's a great game, except for Ethan. You shouldn't have sacrificed yourself for a stupid little kid. So dumb.
Don't call Rose stupid! Nightmare Ethan is coming! Mark my words!
So am I.
Last game. Finally. We have Resident Evil 4 Remake. I think it's the best game in the entire series so far. It's a perfect remake which builds upon the original, and it's just so much better. A lot of people won't say that it replaces the OG for them, but for me it absolutely does. I see no reason to return to the original because the remake plays and looks wonderfully. Most of the sections were there, and the ones that weren't were put into the Separate Ways DLC, which I think is a perfect compensation. It also removes the bloat from the original's somewhat tedious sections. Also about the Separate Ways DLC, I think it's priced perfectly for the amount of content it has. Honestly, I think it should have been worth more. I hope the next game they remake is also as good and as thoughtfully crafted as this one.
Wow, Wesker, just wow. I'm flattered again. You must really love me and my remakes. I gotta agree, though, I do love myself more than anything. Well, maybe I love pain a little bit more, but you know what I mean. I'm just so glad I haven't been in any bad remakes. I only produce bangers.
Poor Chris Redfield over here hasn't been in any remakes so far. How lame and how sad is that?
Speak for yourself, old hag. What remakes have you been in?
You'll see, my boy. You'll see. The day of my takeover soon shall come, and you'll see. The next Resident Evil game will be called Spencer's Revenge, and you won't take me as the pathetic old man anymore.
Oh my god. Imagine that actually being a game. I don't think it would sell a single copy. In fact, I think it would be the first game ever to sell absolutely nothing.
You don't understand. That game would sell 10 Spence billion copies. You'll see. Don't forget this moment. Once I'm rich and famous, don't come crawling to me.
Yeah, keep dreaming. Anyways, that was my entire list. I'm honestly pretty happy with how it is right now, and I don't think I've changed my mind on anything here. What do you guys think?
It's horrible.
Yeah, I agree with Spencer, one of the worst tier lists I've seen for sure.
Yeah, I agree with Spencer and Chris, it's basic as hell. Looks like this guy got all of his opinions from YouTubers.
I actually think it's a really good tier list. I love it, Wesker. Thank you so much for showing it to me.
Yes, my kingdom is growing. Soon, we will be unstoppable together, and we will take over the multiverse.